So when we talk about whether a Kodak type lifestyle store could work in a US city, I think the first thing we need to ask is Kodak a well known enough brand? Because obviously it is. The real question is whether Americans are actually willing to reconnect with Kodak in a new way, especially a standalone store, a standalone retail brand. And honestly, I don't think it would work here in the same way it does overseas. In the US, Kodak is just remembered as a nostalgic brand, and it's remembered as a business failure. Most Americans lived through Kodak's decline. They remember the layoffs, the bankruptcy, and the fact that Kodak failed to adapt to a digital photography even though it helped invent it. Because of that, the brand carries a lot of baggage. So when Americans see Kodak brand clothing or lifestyle store, it can feel less like a cool reinvention and more like a brand trying to relive its past. Another big issue is that the emotional store of Kodak already played out in the United States. Americans experienced the rise, the dominance, and the fall of the company. That makes it harder for Kodak to feel rediscovered. Here in places like South Korea, younger consumers didn't experience the decline firsthand, so Kodak feels fresh, stylish, innovated, almost like a vintage brand being introduced for the first time. In the US, nostalgia tends to feel more backward looking, and consumers are always often skeptical when brands try to monetize that nostalgia. Retail culture also matters. A standalone Kodak store would have to have the convenience to people that brand alone is strong enough to be a destination. In the US, consumers usually prefer multi-brand stores or online shopping. And Kodak's only store might just feel like a merchandise rather than a true fashion or lifestyle experience. Without novelty or exclusivity, it would be hard to sustain long-term interest. But with that being said, I do think a Kodak store type could work in the US in very limited ways. For example, pop-up shops, collaboration with streetwear brands, or photography-focused spaces in cities like New York, Los Angeles could attract the attention of such stores. But even then, the audience would be a niche, mostly creative photographers or people